Hello everyone and welcome to my 10k Q&A. Now this is basically a celebratory video for hitting 10,000 subscribers, which is something that I still can't believe. But the footage that you're watching is just a little bit of random footage from before the North Loop multi-class endurance race, which you'll see more details about in the next online racing episode for GTA 5. And basically it's just at this point I don't realise that I don't have any insurance on the car that I'm using. So I am totally unaware of that, and you'll realise why that's important later on in this video. So yeah, basically, you know, this is just a celebratory video for hitting 10,000 subscribers. I did one at 5,000 subscribers where I showed you guys a lot of outtakes of things that I'd got wrong throughout doing my commentaries. And this time I decided to tell you guys more about myself. So I got you guys to ask me some questions, and basically I'll answer them in this video. So before we start, I just want to say, thank you guys for, being here and supporting me, and even getting 10,000 subscribers. It's totally unbelievable. Just like that rocket shot there was. So yeah, I really do appreciate it, and I just can't believe I'm hitting these kind of milestones. It's just fantastic. So I guess we should get on to the first question, and this is the one that was asked most of all by lots of different people. What do you look like? When will you do a face cam? Will you ever show your face? Etc, etc. So I guess it's time to finally show you what I look like, and I'll do that right about now. So this is what I look like. What? I thought you actually wanted to see what I look like. This is what I look like when I'm doing my real life racing series. Oh, you wanted to see my face. Alright, well I guess we could do that as well. Hello everyone. So this is what I look like, and I have to remember when I'm doing this to keep looking at the camera, because this is the first time I've done anything like this. If I forget to look at the camera and actually talk to you guys, I do apologise, but we are going to be doing the rest of this video with like this. So I'll be talking to you guys, I've got the questions on the screen, I'll basically just be asking those, saying those, then reading the answers to you guys as we go along. So let's get into the first of the serious. Obviously we've answered the first question, which is what I look like, but let's get into the first of the serious questions. When I try to do my laundry, I always find my washer grows mould and is bogged down by excess lint. Do you have any suggestions as to why this is happening more than usual, and if so, can you give a tip as to how to prevent it in the future? I feel like someone wasn't taking this quite as seriously as they could have done. Let's hope we get a serious question again. What is your favourite flavour of ice cream? Okay, I see where this is going. Right, let's hope I get some more serious questions. And strawberry, by the way. So what's your full name? There we go, decent question. My full name is Adam Bruff. Now, just to let you know how to pronounce Bruffy1322, imagine it was spelt B-R-U-F-F or something like that. It's Bruffy1322. Rather than anything else. A lot of people sometimes get confused. They say Browy or Broy or something like that. It's not, it's Bruffy. So, where are you from? The northeast of England. How old are you? 24. I know I don't look 24, but I am actually 24. Do you have a girlfriend? No, I don't. So if any females out there want a piece of this, I'm right here. I can't believe I just said that. What do you do in real life, and what's your educational background? Alright, there's a pretty loaded question. In real life, I actually work part-time at the karting track that I race on, for my real life racing series. And I guess you could say I do YouTube part-time as well. But I am actually actively looking for opportunities in community management and things like that. In terms of educational background, I actually have a degree in mathematics and a master's degree in management. So I guess you could say I went quite far with education. Not usual. So what does the Bruffy1322 mean at the end of your name? I wish I knew. I really do wish I knew. This came about a long time ago. I must have been, 9 or 10 years old or something like that. I needed a 4-digit pin for something. I don't use it as a 4-digit pin anymore because it would be totally obvious. And 2 has always been my lucky or favourite number, I guess. 13 was one of those sort of, I'll use it because it's meant to be unlucky type things. I don't know. I was very young. I think that's where it came from. I can't really remember entirely, to be honest. But it's just stuck with me since then. So why not? It's some numbers. It it's a bit unique, so I might as well keep it. What was the first video game you ever played, and what's the first console that you owned? The first console that I owned was actually a Sega Mega Drive, and the first game I played, it was a cartridge, I think, that had 3 games on it. So there was a bike racing game, a Columns, I think it was called, which was kind of like Tetris, and FIFA World Cup Italia 90 or something like that. It was a 2D football game anyway. So yeah, that was the first game I ever played. I think it was just one of those sort of cartridges you get with, you know, the console. You used to get a free game back then. So yeah, you know, I had a lot of good times on that console, the Mega Drive. I think that really started my love with racing as well, because I played Micro Machines a hell of a lot on that console. So yeah, that was one of my best moments in gaming, I guess you could say, and it was one of the first as well. What's your favourite game of all time? I probably should have thought about the answers to these questions before I did this video. I really don't know. That's a difficult one to answer. It's got to be either Mass Effect or Portal. One of those two, because the storylines for both of them and the gameplay is just incredible. The first Mass Effect game blew my mind. Portal also blew my mind, but I think the second one was even better. I don't know. I can't decide between Mass Effect and Portal 2. I'm going to give it to the original Mass Effect, I think. The original Mass Effect was probably the best in terms of storyline. It just sucked me in completely. I'm going to give it to the original Mass Effect. But Portal 2 is a very close second. And obviously all the GTA games are close. You know, I love those as well. What is your favourite Grand Theft Auto game of all time, excluding GTA 5? Well, this is really easy. Even including GTA 5, it would be Grand Theft Auto Vice City. The setting, the music, the era, the characters, I just loved that game. It was the absolute best. Vice City was my favourite of all time. Will you do the same car testing for GTA 6? Probably, if I'm still doing YouTube whenever GTA 6 comes out. Who knows when that's going to come out, but yeah, I guess, you know, why not? But that's a fairly out there question. If Rockstar were able to release a DLC pack of cars for only one class, what class would you want it to be? Probably compacts. I think compacts, because it's the smallest class, you know, it would be good to have some more front wheel drive cars, some more sort of race modification type cars for compacts, or even just move a few, you know, the Penumbra and the Futo could be moved to compact class or something like that. But I would like to see some more compacts just to get some more cars in that class, really. What's your favourite car in GTA? Difficult, this one. In terms of the looks and the sound, it's the Forza, you know, the sound of the engine, and the looks of it's the Forza. But in terms of the way it drives, it's the Massacro, you know, easily. I love the way the Massacro drives. It suits my style perfectly. It's so beautiful to drive. And yeah, I can't really decide between those two. And you know, the next question must have been from someone who already knew that, because it was just simply Massacro or Forza. I don't know. I can't possibly decide. I want a combination of them both. Do you think the LG is overpowered? Yes. Pick any two cars to combine and put into GTA. Which class will this be, and describe what characteristics you want from each car. I'd like to see some single-seater cars. So, you know, some road legal single-seaters or road legal open-wheel cars. For example, the Ariel Atom V8 I would love to see. Obviously it's not combined with anything, but I'd love to see an Ariel Atom V8. What class that would be in? Maybe its own class, you know, a separate class for sort of a racing class or something like that. Yeah, and the cars for the characteristics, it wouldn't have much in the way of top speed, but all single seaters generally just go fly around the corners, so it would just be able to take corners quicker than anything. That's what I'd really like to see. Whether they do that or not, I don't know. But yeah, the Ariel Atom V8 is probably the one car that I'd like to see in GTA. Which car will you be using as sports if the Elegy is really going to be moved to supers? If this happens, I would say the Massacro would be the car that I would use. You know, I love the way it drives. I'll probably use it in a couple of races, even against Elegies. I would definitely default straight to the Massacro. Which in-game radio station do you frequent most, or do you leave it off? Well, actually, the Los Santos Rock Radio is the station that I listen to the most, and it has been since the start of the game. But I also I've started to like Radio Mirror Park. I like Non-Stop Pop. All of the ones on the left-hand side, the sort of the top left-hand wheel of the wheel, Space 102, that sort of thing. The soul one, even West Coast classics I like as well. So there's a fair few that I quite like, but Los Santos Rock Radio is the number one. Are there any differences between Xbox GTA and PS3 GTA community and game? No. In terms of community, there's absolutely no difference whatsoever. Everybody's the same. You get people who are really good at racing, really bad at racing. You get idiots, you get trolls. It's all the same whether it's PS3 or GTA, PS3 or Xbox, sorry. In terms of the game though, the PS3 version just takes so long to load. It really does. It's painful how long it takes to load up. If I start them both at the same time, I could be in a race on the Xbox version before the PS3 version has even got into the single player. That's how long it takes. It's absolutely painful. Will you be buying GTA 5 on next gen? Absolutely, yes. I'll be buying it on PS4 because I have a PS4. I haven't decided yet whether to buy an Xbox One. I might do because of Forza Horizon 2, but I might just play it on 360 anyway. But I'll definitely be buying GTA on the PS4, and I'll be transferring my 360 save over to there. So I'll have all the stuff that I currently have on 360 on the PS4. Hopefully all my tracks will transfer over. Maybe they'll make them multi-platform at this point as well. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'll definitely be buying it on PS4. Would you ever do bicycle speed testing? Maybe. Do you watch Formula 1, motorcycle racing, etc, etc? Yes, I do. I watch a lot of motorsport. I watch Formula 1, World Touring Cars, British Touring Cars, DTM, Indy Cars, the World Endurance Championship. I do watch a lot of motorsport when it comes to cars. Now, I used to watch the MotoGP. I used to watch bike racing quite a bit, but I've kind of lost interest this season. I mean, Marquez is just so good in the MotoGP, and it's kind of got really confusing with all of the different classes and things like that. So, no, I don't really watch motorcycle racing anymore. I used to, and I always like it when there's a good race, but no, I'll probably watch Laguna Seca because that's a great track, but beyond that, probably not. What is your dream car to own in real life? In terms of something that's probably realistic to have, not sort of a supercar, a car that you could use every day, probably the Nissan GTR. In terms of a fun, just a car that I'd really like to have is the Ariel Atom V8. As I've mentioned before, I'd really like to have one of those just to fly around the country roads as well, go on a track day, something like that. I'd love an Ariel Atom. That would be it. Yeah, that's number one. Number one is the Ariel Atom V8, definitely. So I also got a few questions about how I got into real life racing. I just want to mention that I have answered quite a lot of that in the real life racing series. So if you haven't seen some of the earlier episodes, go and watch those. But I'll also save sort of those questions for that series as well, because they are quite long videos and there is a lot of time to fill when I'm doing those videos as well. So I'll cover a lot more of that in that series. Next up is, how do you find the time to have a real life and still upload awesome videos, as well as play on multiple platforms and recreate tracks on each one? I wish I knew. I don't know. I have no idea how I find the time to do all that. I don't really, so I don't play as much. Obviously I've lowered the amount of videos that I'm doing every week. I'm not actively creating any tracks anymore, so that's something that I don't have to do. But I do find that when something takes over and I want to do one specific thing, like for example the North Loop track, other things do suffer because I've just got everything so tightly packed with a job and all these sorts of other things. Everything is just so tightly packed that as soon as I start doing one thing, something else stops. So yeah, I don't have a lot of time, but it keeps me occupied, keeps me entertained, I guess. Your channel is heavily racing oriented, but your most popular content relates to a game that is not a racing simulator. Aren't you missing a pure racing game capable of forming a great online community around it, just like GTA 5 does? I guess you could say yes. I mean, the racing school is pretty much the only thing I've done with Gran Turismo 6. I did intend to sort of do some online racing with it, but I didn't really have the interest for it. I lost interest in it, and I would say that in terms of Forza Motorsport 4, it was the time when I kind of lost interest in proper simulator type racing games. You know, I still enjoy them every now and again, but in terms of a serious game, I'm just looking for something for a little bit more. And I like to sort of have that racing aspect as long as the simulator of the racing is good enough, so you know it takes some skill to use. Then it doesn't matter what game it's in. Like the driving physics on Grand Theft Auto are quite good, so I'm quite happy to use that as my racing game of choice at the moment. Having said that, Forza Horizon is what really sort of pushed the next level for me in terms of racing simulators and, you know, bringing something extra to the table. And Forza Horizon 2 is definitely going to be on my channel. So yeah, that's definitely what I'm going to be. I'm definitely going to be doing that more with Forza Horizon 2, and that's going to be my next sort of main racing game, if you know, in terms of simulators and stuff like that. I did miss a question. I'm sure I've missed a question. Yes, what is your goal after the 10k subscribers, and where do you want to go with this channel after GTA 5? I don't know. I don't really plan ahead, you know. I just kind of, this is still a hobby for me. I make videos. This isn't my job or anything like that. I make videos just because I like to make them, you know. I enjoy making them. So I just go with the flow, really. I don't sort of plan ahead. I'm definitely, as I've said, I'm definitely going to be doing more Forza Horizon 2. Probably be covering Gears 4 when that comes out eventually, if I'm still doing YouTube then. But I'll just, you know, continue doing GTA 5 for the time being and all of my current series, and just see what happens, you know, see what takes my fancy as games come out and, you know, as things progress. But no big plans to change anything at the moment. I'll keep doing what I'm doing, and then we'll just see how it goes with Forza Horizon 2. I believe you use a wheel when playing GT6. Which one do you own and how do you like it? I actually use the Driving Force GT, and it is over there. I really do like it. The pedals aren't very good, you know, there isn't a lot of feel with the pedals. I bought it because it was the cheapest alternative. I couldn't afford a G27 or anything like that, so I bought that, and it does really well. You know, it does exactly what you need it to do. I'm happy with it, and yeah, it's a good wheel. I would certainly recommend it to anyone sort of looking to get a wheel for the first time. That's the Logitech Driving Force GT. Do you write an ordered list of things to discuss while commenting your videos on a side note, or does it come naturally? Well, yeah, obviously for this video I've got a long list of questions, but normally it does come naturally. I actually, you know, I kind of have an idea of what I might want to say, but in general it's just, you know, it all comes naturally. In fact, if you go back to the sort of some of my earlier videos, sort of in the early days, you will see me, the style is very different, because I actually wrote a complete script of what I wanted to say, and you know, I just read from that script, so the style is very different. It did allow me to sort of, it was one less thing that I had to think about when I was first starting, but you know, I wouldn't recommend it to continue. So yeah, it wasn't too bad doing it like that, but I would certainly recommend, if you are starting YouTube or anything like that, make sure you get into talking naturally as soon as possible, really. So that's about it with the questions. That's all the questions we've got. We've got through quite a few. We're up to like 17 minutes that I've been talking here, but the video that you're seeing is probably getting close to 20 minutes. And yeah, that I'll probably just put it all up as one full thing. I won't do any cuts or anything like that. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. You know, I just want to say that I do have one more question to go, but I'll save that right to the end. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I was kind of apprehensive about doing this, you know. It kind of felt like starting YouTube again for the first time and putting up that first video. I don't know what it's going to look like or anything like that, but you guys wanted to see my face, so I hope you've been happy with this. And I just want to say, you know, thank you so much for all the support. I really do appreciate it. I can't believe I've got 10,000 subscribers. It's totally crazy, and I really do appreciate every view, every like, every comment, any interaction that you have with me. I really do appreciate it. And obviously, if you want to follow me on Twitter, follow me on Facebook, you know, Instagram, Twitch, all of those things, they will all be down in the description. Now I've released my face, I guess I'll do some more live streams with my face and some live footage as well. So yeah, I have released my face. What kind of a thing was that to say? Oh well, never mind. So yeah, one more question to go. So yeah, thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, leave a comment, leave a like down below, leave everything down below. I really appreciate it, and I'll see what you have to say when it goes up. So one more question left, and that is, what is the colour combination of your cars on GTA 5? Now this has been sort of a heated debate for quite a while. A lot of people have made a lot of different guesses. A lot of people have got very close to the actual colour. As long as you get something that looks very similar, then fair enough, you're good to go. But I figured I might as well, as a celebration and just to give you guys something, I would tell you finally what the colour combination of my racing cars is in GTA 5. So the colour combination of all my cars, all my racing cars in GTA Online, is